Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss session 2 on chapter 6 from your class 12 biology syllabus. The name of the chapter is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Already we have completed session 1 of this chapter, and from session 1 actually we came to know the different types of experiments on the genetic material. In today's videos, we will get to know the structure and the function of the nucleic acid. So let's start the today's class. The first topic is the first slide contains the nucleic acid. The first thing we are going to discuss the nucleic acid. So what is nucleic acid? Actually these nucleic acids are the macromolecules which present in the all living cells. So what is the meaning of macromolecules? Macromolecules means the in our body there are different types of biomolecules are there. So in biomolecules there are two types of biomolecules are there, the macromolecules and the micromolecules. So which size become larger, that's called the macromolecules, and the which size becomes smaller, that's called the micromolecules. So you have studied these biomolecules in your class 11 standard. So this nucleic acid actually belongs to the macromolecules which is actually present in all living cell. So the scientist Frederick Measure was first person who isolated the nucleic acid from the past cell. It's called the nuclein. So the first term of the nucleic acid was nuclein. And after that, scientist Altman, when discovered this thing that the nucleic acid is acidic in nature, so after that he actually named the nuclein as the nucleic acid. Why this is called the nucleic acid? Because this nucleic acid is actually acidic in nature, so that's why it has an acidic nature, that's why hence Altman called it as the nucleic acid. So in normally there are two types of nucleic acid found in all living organisms, the deoxyribonucleic acid and the ribonucleic acid. I am repeating again, in our body there are two types of nucleic acid present in our body. The first one is the DNA deoxyribonucleic acid and the RNA ribonucleic acid. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid and the ribonucleic acid. So DNA and RNA is the most important genetic material nucleic acid present in our body. Next slide contains the structure of the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Actually, all of you know this thing that this DNA is one of the most important genetic material of all living organism. I am repeating again, DNA actually acts as the genetic material in most of the organisms. Okay, and what is the basic function of the DNA? The basic function of the DNA that it carries the coded information from one generation to the another generation. I am repeating again. So what is the basic function of the DNA? The basic function of the DNA that it carries the information, the genetic information, the hereditary information from one generation to the another generation. So this is the basic function of the genetic material. This is actually the basic function of the genetic material. Next point is it's a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. It is a long polymer of the deoxyribonucleotides. Okay, so what is the meaning of the long polymer? So many more monomer actually comprise together and form the polymer. So it is a long polymer of the deoxyribonucleotides. Okay, the number of the nucleotides or the base pair actually present in the DNA which determines the length of the DNA. But this length of the DNA depends on the number of nucleotides pair present in it. So you can say in this way that the length of the DNA varies from organism to organism. I am repeating again, the length of the DNA varies organism to organism. Okay, so next thing is in eukaryotic cell DNA is found nucleus. It's the chief component of chromosome. So in eukaryotic cell body, DNA is found nucleus. Okay, so within the cell organelles nucleus actually the main site of the DNA. So it is the chief component of the chromosomes, and DNA also found in the mitochondria and the chloroplast also. So this is the basic idea of the DNA. This is the basic idea of the DNA. I am repeating again, what is the basic idea? That DNA is actually the genetic material of all living organism. This DNA is the genetic material of all living organism, and it carries the coded information from one generation to the another generation, and it's a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. This DNA is the long polymer of the deoxyribonucleotides, and the length of the DNA depends on the number of nucleotide pair present in it. After that, in eukaryotic cell, DNA is found nucleus. It's the chief component of the chromosome. Okay, this DNA is the main component of the chromosome, and it also found in the mitochondria and chloroplast. Next thing is this chemically, actually the chemical, what is the chemical structure of DNA? This nucleotide actually, because DNA is made up of the several nucleotides. DNA is made up of with the several nucleotides. So this chemically DNA is composed of the deoxyribose sugar, phosphate group and the nitrogenous base. Okay, I am repeating again, the DNA is actually composed by the deoxyribose sugar, the phosphate group and the nitrogenous base. Okay, so in our body there are two types of the deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar is there. In our body there are two types of ribose sugar is there. So first one is the deoxyribose sugar and the second one is the ribose sugar. Okay, and second one is the phosphate group is there. This phosphate group actually acts as the backbone of the DNA strand, and the next one is the nitrogenous base is there. So we'll discuss all those things in today's class. First thing is the deoxyribose sugar. So it is actually the pentose sugar having the molecular formula C5H10O4. So this is the structure of the deoxyribose sugar. This is the structure of the deoxyribose sugar, and it is a pentose sugar having the molecular formula of the C5H10O4. So just look at the structure. We have total 5 carbon, 10 hydrogen molecule and 4 oxygen molecule. So let's just check it. The 5 carbon, that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 carbon. So that's why this is called the pentose sugar. Pentose means the 5. Pentose means the 5. Okay. Now I am changing my pen color. Then 10 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, because 2 hydrogen molecule is there. Okay, so this is 10 hydrogen. Okay, now I am removing all the pen line, and last one is the oxygen molecule. 4 oxygen molecules. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and the 4. Okay, so the main formula, chemical formula, molecular formula of the deoxyribose sugar is the C5H10O4. C5H10 and the O4, and it's the pentose sugar. It's the pentose sugar. So what is the meaning of the pentose sugar? Pentose sugar means the 5 carbon is there. Pentose sugar means the 5 carbon is there. That's called the pentose sugar. Okay. Next thing is this, so already we have discussed. So we have total 2 types of the sugar, the ribose and the deoxyribose. The ribose actually present in the RNA and deoxyribose actually present in the DNA. Next thing is the phosphate group. Next thing is the phosphate group. So this phosphate group, actually the nucleotide, when the nucleotide is formed, that time a phosphate group actually linked to the 5' hydroxyl molecule of the nucleoside through a phosphodiester linkage. Okay, so this phosphoric acid forms the phosphate group. This phosphoric acid actually forms the phosphate group, and the molecular formula is the H3PO4. Molecular formula is the H3PO4. Just look at the diagram. Here 3 hydrogen molecules, 1, 2, 3 hydrogen molecule is there. Next one is the 1 phosphate molecules. This is 1 phosphate molecules, and total 4 oxygen molecule, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is your chemical formula of the H3PO4. This is your chemical formula, molecular formula of the H3PO4, and it's responsible for the acidic nature of DNA. So all of you know that DNA is acidic in nature. Okay, but why? Because the presence of the phosphate group, because the presence of the phosphoric acid, and this phosphate acid actually the chemical in nature, this actually acidic in nature, and the phosphate group coming from the phosphoric acid. Okay. Next thing is the nitrogenous base. So this is a nitrogen containing organic molecule having the similar physical properties of a base. I am repeating again. It is a nitrogen containing organic molecule having the similar physical properties of a base. So there are 2 types of nitrogen base is there in the DNA structure. The first one is the purine, and the second one is the pyrimidine. So this nitrogen base is very important for your exam. Okay, so these nitrogenous bases are the actually the nitrogen containing compounds. These nitrogen bases are the nitrogen containing compounds, and these are mainly divided into 2 types, the purine and the pyrimidine. Okay, so always remember, this purine and pyrimidine always form a new bond. This purine and purine can never be form any kinds of bond. Okay, always purine plus pyrimidine always form the bond. Okay, always remember, the purine always form bond with the pyrimidine. It's never happened that purine forms bond with the purine and pyrimidine forms bond with the pyrimidine. It's never happened. It's always happen when the purine and pyrimidine is forming the bond. Clear? So this is here the main thing. Okay, next is the purine, the structure of the purine. These purines are actually the double ring heterocyclic structural compounds. These purines actually the double ring heterocyclic structural compounds. Okay, and the 2 types of purines present in the DNA, that the adenine and guanine. So we have total 2 types of purine. We have total 2 types of purine, that the A and G, adenine and guanine. You have to remember. Okay, purines are the double ring heterocyclic structure. Just look at the structure. There are double ring is there. Okay, 1 ring and 2 ring. Okay, so that's why this is called the double ring heterocyclic structure. Okay, and we have total 2 purine in a DNA structure, the adenine and the guanine. Okay, next thing is the pyrimidine. This pyrimidine is actually the single ring structures compound. So this is the single ring structure. This is not the heterocyclic double heterocyclic structure. This is the single ring structure, and pyrimidine is actually the single ring structured compounds. The 2 types of pyrimidines present in the DNA are the cytosine and the thymine. Okay, the 2 types of the pyrimidines present in the DNA are the cytosine and thymine. So 2 types of pyrimidine is there, cytosine and thymine. Okay, here the next thing is there. Always remember, the purine always forms bond with the pyrimidine. Okay, so purine always formed bond with the pyrimidine. All of you know this thing. So here actually the purine is the A and G. The purine is the A and G, and the pyrimidine is the C and T. So A always forms bond with the G. A always formed with the G. Okay, and C always formed with the T. C always forms with the T. A always forms with the T and G always formed with the C. I am repeating again. A always formed with the T. A always forms bond with the T and G always forms bond with the C. Okay, because here A is the purine and T is the pyrimidine. Adenine is the purine and thymine is the pyrimidine. And here the same thing is there. The G form is the guanine. Guanine is the purine and C is the pyrimidine. Okay. So the next thing is this A and T, actually this A and T I am writing is always formed the double bond with the T, and G and C always formed the triple bond with C, and this double bond and triple bond is the hydrogen bond. So A always forms the hydrogen bond with the T and G always forms the triple hydrogen bond with the C. So always remember this GC bond is more powerful than AT bond. Why? Because here 3 hydrogen bond is there and here the 2 hydrogen bond is there. Okay. So this GC bond is more powerful than the AT bond. So this is the actually the main thing of the formation of the bond, and this is also called the Chargaff's rule. Okay, in the year of 1950 actually he formulated the important generalization on the bases and the other contents of the DNA, that's called the Chargaff's rule. So it always states that the ratio between the adenine and thymine and the guanine plus cytosine is always will be equal to 1. Is always will be equal to 1. Okay. So A plus T by G plus C is always will be equal to 1. Okay. So this is the Chargaff's rule. Next thing is the nucleoside. So the compounds which formed by the combination of the pentose sugar and nitrogenous base is called the nucleoside. So what is the meaning of the nucleoside? Nucleoside means that the compound which forms by the combination of the pentose sugar. It means the either deoxyribose or ribose with the nitrogenous base. That's called the nucleoside. A nitrogen base actually attached to the carbon 1 of the pentose sugar. Just look at the structure. This is the carbon 1. Okay. So in the carbon 1 of the pentose sugar, the nitrogenous base actually is linking, okay, by the N-glycosidic linkage, by the N-glycosidic linkage. So this is the actually the place of binding of nitrogenous base. This is actually the place of binding of the nitrogenous base. So a nitrogen base actually always attached with the C1 of the pentose sugar by the N-glycosidic linkage. By the N-glycosidic linkage. In DNA, nucleosides are formed by the combination of deoxyribose sugar and the nitrogenous base. So this is the nucleoside. Okay. So nucleoside always formed by the base and the sugar, by the binding of the base and the sugar. So these are the base. We have total 4 base. Okay. Adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. Okay. Adenine and guanine is for purine and cytosine and thymine is for the pyrimidine. Okay. So here the adenine, the base plus the sugar, deoxyribose sugar from the nucleoside, that the deoxyadenosine. Next thing is the base plus sugar, guanine plus deoxyribose sugar, it forms the deoxyguanosine. Third one is the base plus sugar, cytosine plus deoxyribose sugar, it forms the deoxycytidine. Next thing is the thymine plus deoxyribose sugar, it forms the deoxythymidine. So all those are the nucleoside. All those are the nucleosides. So we have total 4 nitrogenous base and the deoxyribose sugar. So it forms the nucleoside. Okay. Next thing is the nucleotide, the compound which is actually formed by the combination of the phosphate group with the nucleoside. So these are the nucleoside. Okay, so these are the nucleoside. When the phosphate molecule is joining with each and every nucleoside, that's from the nucleotides, and DNA is formed with the so many nucleotides. DNA is formed with the so many nucleotides. So that's why it's a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. This DNA is actually the long polymer of the deoxyribonucleotides, and the compound which is formed by the combination of the phosphate groups with the nucleosides, that's called the nucleotide. Okay, the 4 types of nucleotides present. Okay, deoxyadenosine monophosphate. So this is deoxyadenosine is the nucleoside plus phosphate. It means the deoxyadenosine monophosphate. Mono means the one. So one phosphate here is joining. Here also one phosphate is joining. Deoxyguanosine monophosphate. Here also one phosphate has joined, the deoxycytidine monophosphate, and here also one phosphate is joined, the deoxythymidine monophosphate. Okay. So this is the basic idea of the nucleotide. The last topic for today, that the polynucleotide strand. Okay. So the number of nucleotides which linked with each other, because DNA is the polynucleotide chain. So that's why the number of the nucleotides which linked each other by the phosphodiester bond and forms a long chain of the molecule called the polynucleotide chain. So this is the long chain of the polynucleotide. And it forms the polynucleotide strand. So poly means the many more. The phosphodiester bonds forms between the 5th and the 3rd carbon of the pentose sugar. So this is the 3rd and the 5th carbon. This is the C1 position. In the C1 position, the base is joining, and in the C3 and C5, these two site actually the site of the formation of the phosphodiester bond. So just this is the phosphodiester bond. This is the, I am changing my color, the pen. This is the phosphodiester bond. Okay. So this is the phosphodiester bond. After that, this forms the polynucleotide chain. After that, it forms the polynucleotide strand or polynucleotide chain, and that's why the orientation of the DNA always forms the 5 prime to 3 prime. Always forms the 5 prime to 3 prime section. Okay. So we will discuss later about the orientation of the DNA, and this is the today's class. In our next class, we will discuss the DNA structure. So today actually we have discussed the nucleic acid structure. So next class we will discuss the DNA structure. Okay. So from this video, from session 2, we came to know the nucleic acid structure. Okay. Pentose sugar structure, nitrogenous base structure, and the phosphate group structure, and the Chargaff's rule also. So in our next class we will discuss the DNA structure and the function. So I hope this video will help you a lot. But if you have any queries, ask me immediately in my number, and follow each and every day's video, because this is very important for your exam. This is very important for your exam, and this chapter is quite difficult chapter for all of you. So please go through each and every day's video. Okay, thank you. Bye.